welcome back into the kitchen with me. Now, what I would like to share with you today are some beautiful, creative, vegan and vegetarian dinner party inspiration dishes. Now, a lot of us are moving towards less meat, or you might have guests that you are just about to invite around to a dinner party and you have no idea what to serve them. Regardless, I need to show you how to pimp up your vegetables and how to make them look beautiful and expensive. And I've got some beautiful dishes to show you. Now, I've just happened to have an eggplant and some zucchini, but you can go into your fridge and see exactly what you need to upcycle. Now, in my trusty little air fryer over here, what I've thrown in there are some peeled carrots, and I happen to get some beautiful parsnips at the market, very cheap. So I bought those as well. Now, I put them in the air fryer just on the frozen chip or roast function. And what I've got are some beautiful roast parsnips. You can see that lovely caramelized golden color. Now, when we get our vegetables nice and brown like that, you can rest assured that you have instantly made your veggies taste $10 more expensive than steamed veggies. Now, I do not like steamed veggies unless it's snow peas and all your greens. I love steaming those, but these are perfect roasted. I could literally serve that with some truffle oil and they would be amazing, or even just a normal good extra virgin quality olive oil. So there's our parsnips, and what we have here are the sexy carrots. Now, I know I'm getting way too excited, and I know this is just a carrot, but again, when we've roasted them and they are bursting with personality and color, they're also bursting with flavor. So steamed carrot versus a roasted carrot, the roasted carrot is going to win hands down every time. So we're going to do two types of dishes here. And I'm all about cheap and easy, so I love dishes that are easy, but I still look very fantastic and chefy, so that's important. But also we don't want to have anything that's going to take too long to make, not with our busy schedule. So this can be done in advance, or you could make it just as you're serving it. That was, like I said, about 8 to 10 minutes in the air fryer. Now, when we are building up our lovely dish, it's always nice to have the different flavors, colors, and textures. So these are lovely and roasted. And I'm going to serve these actually two ways. So I'm going to take half of those carrots, and I'm actually going to pop them in my little smoothie maker or little food processor. And we're going to make a very sexy little carrot puree. Now, all I'm going to put into there is our roast carrots. I'm going to add either some cold stock or some cold dairy cream, or you could use a vegan cream as well. Just when I'm in one of these, I don't want any extra heat because that is going to be very dangerous. And then that I'm going to serve with this lovely dish that I'm doing. But try that with one of your other main course dishes. It is the sexiest puree you will ever have. What I'm going to do here is popping on our little griddle plate here. Now we're going to get that nice and hot. With the griddle plate, what I do recommend if you're wanting to get that sexy sear on your vegetables is definitely put this on and let it get nice and swear word hot, because what we want when we put our veggies in there is we want a sexy sizzle. Then we know we are going to get some beautiful browning. Now, obviously, when we are raising the temperature of oils, I would be using one of my workhorse oils here, and that's a canola, rice bran, or a veggie oil. I would save my sexy extra virgin olive oils for when I'm serving these on the plate and I'm drizzling, because extra virgin olive oil does not like to get hot and sweaty. I always say it's like a little princess. It doesn't like to get hot and sweaty or do any work. So rather drizzle it with the extra virgin olive oil, and we've got that workhorse oil in there getting nice and hot. Now, I've literally got that on the hottest setting, and what I've got here with my eggplant is I'm just going to top and tail it, and this is quite a small one, so the slices are going to be very nice and manageable. Of course, you do get the bigger ones. Those are lovely, but you need to make sure you can obviously fit this into the pan. If you are doing more than cooking for maybe 2 or 3 people and you've got a lot of eggplant, this can actually be done in your oven or in your little air fryer under the grill just for about 8 minutes, and you will get very sexy eggplant. So you can see there I actually turned that down. It's nice and smoke hot. We don't want to set off any fire alarms though. And when I put this eggplant in there, we should hear a nice sexy sizzle. With eggplant, generally what you can do is a little bit of salt just before you roast them or cook them in here. Let that salt draw out all those bitter liquids, and then you can pat it dry, rinse it, pat it dry, and then they are ready to go in here. I'm going to pop these in with that sexy sizzle, just like that. I might even turn that up. And I'm going to see how many I can fit in here. Very important to always season your food. So even though we're going to get a beautiful flavor just from our veggies in their natural state, it's always good to season your food. Now, we don't want to over season because it's very difficult to take the salt out. And you can always season on the plate, that's not a problem. My favorite way of seasoning, and that's literally about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt there, it's just some normal sea salt or table salt. And what I've got it is in my little trusty tea strainer. And what that does for me is it gives me a lovely, elegant coating of salt, and I like to call it salt snow. And it really is a very efficient way of getting some flavor in there. Now, I do need to turn these over because I'm seeing a little bit of, and I'm definitely smelling some browning happening there. So you want to leave it in until you get that sexy little crisscross. Let me turn those over. Oh, that is perfect. That's what I want. And of course, we can do, if we change these, I can get a little square going as well. So let's move those like that. It's called playing with your food. Just don't burn yourselves. All right, so while these are doing that little crisscross on there, and like you saw, I cut these quite thin. So once I've got the first side browned up, and that's going to be about 2 or 3 minutes on each side, these are actually ready to serve. So very quick dish. And you could have gone with the zucchini, exactly the same as I did with the eggplant slice. Now, these carrots and parsnips have cooled down a little bit. I would never pop them in here when they were really square-word hot, because this under pressure is going to explode. You do get other food processors where it's more like a jug and there's a bit of room for the air to escape. So that is another good one to use. So that was some carrots. I've also got some sweet potato that I have left over from another dish. So I roasted those up as well. And I'm going to leave some of these whole because I like to have different textures to play with later when I'm plating. So there's our sexy carrots. I also just happened to have some butter beans, which were left over in the fridge. Let's quickly turn these over. You can use your highly trained sniffers, and you can see I've got that lovely griddling there. Oh, that one's perfect. Well done. All right, I'm going to turn that down. You need to manage the heat here. So if you are burning them, definitely turn them down. But those are going to look fantastic. Okay. So our carrots are in there, sweet potato, and now just those butter beans. Now, butter beans are not the sexiest vegetable by all means, but what they lack in flavor and color, they certainly make up for in texture. So when we blend that, they are going to add a beautiful velvety texture to our lovely little puree. And basically what I'm making here is like a hummus. Okay, so a little bit of a sexy dip. And if we're not using it for this dish, by all means serve it as a dip. So in that goes, I happen to have some lovely crushed garlic, which was left over from another dish. So I'm going to add some of that lovely crushed garlic. Okay, that's a lot, but it'll be beautiful. I've also got a lemon here. I'm going to add the lemon zest. I always say lemon zest is free flavor, because if I'm going to take the zest off, if I'm going to use the juice, then I'm going to take the zest off and use it in my dish. And that is just a beautiful signature of freshness. Okay, I'm going to put some of that lovely fresh lemon juice in there. So I'm just puncturing the cells there with my lovely knife. In goes, try to avoid getting the seeds in there. In goes my lovely fresh lemon juice. I just got 1 or 2 seeds there. They will actually make that bitter. Take those out. And we need either some olive oil. You can use a tahini paste if you're going to go traditional. But here what I'm going to do, because it's sort of for this main course dish, is I'm going to sneak a little bit of a feta in. Of course, you could do a vegan style feta. That is going to add a lovely creamy, salty base to that. And then I'm going to add some water. Now, the water can just be in this case, it's actually cold water, and that's not going to look very sexy going in there, but I do need to blend this, so it's like making a smoothie. We do need some liquid in there. I could, of course, add some cream, which would work as well. It depends on what your diet is like. And these are actually nearly ready, guys, so let's hurry up and I will blend that. There'll be a little bit of a noise. Hold on. So that there just needs a little bit more liquid. Oh, but that is going to be glorious. A little bit more liquid to bind. You could use some more water. I'm going to put in some lovely dairy cream, and that could be a coconut cream or a coconut milk, and blend it one more time. I want it nice and smooth and elegant. Now that is exactly how I wanted it. You saw the first time I looked at it, it was kind of chunky and not so gorgeous. So I put a little bit more liquid in and blended it until it was a beautiful, elegant, and very smooth paste. So far this dish has been way too easy. Once these eggplants are cooked, I'm then going to show you how to plate this and make it look like a dinner party sensation. So this is what we want, a beautiful, silky, elegant puree. Now, this dish was very easy. I love to show you how to plate it to look like a restaurant-style meal. Now, I have chosen a beautiful, sexy plate, and you can choose any plate that makes you happy. And now it's all about assembling this beautiful dish. I will get a flat plate as well and show you two different ways. Okay, so eggplants, that was literally 6 minutes. And you can see I'm going to choose this side because this is the best looking side. That is cooked and beautiful. Let's put him on there. I'm going to put this guy on this plate, and well, he can be for later. What I've also got is when I cut the lemon in half, this might be an opportunity to make a caramelized lemon for our dish. Now that is going to add just a lovely squeeze of freshness at the end. And I always say if you're doing this with fish or seafood, lemon wedges are very old-fashioned. I like to take my fruit that I've sliced, and then as you can see, I'm doing a little sneaky wait here. I'm actually waiting for my pan to get back to temperature, and then we're going to make sexy fruit. So when I put this in and we hear that sizzle, you're also going to smell the lemon juice caramelizing, and it'll be $10 more expensive than a boring old lemon wedge. So you can hear that, really press it down. We want that lovely edging on there. We are going to take on our two plates here a lovely bit of the puree, and again here we are wanting different textures. All right, and obviously this is going to look glorious on your when your guests take a photo of the lovely lunch or the dinner that you have provided them. Like I said, whatever's left here is not going to go to waste. I'm going to serve this as an elegant dip in a few days' time, and no one will have to know. All right, with the lemon nearly black enough, I'm just going to put it back in and even leave it a little bit longer. Now we can put something on the top here. So what I've got are some of those lovely carrots that we had roasted up earlier. Oh, if your board is moving, this is going to make you very stressed. If you are cutting on a board that is moving, grab a little cloth, put it under there. It'll stop moving and you will look more chefy. It's all about looks. So, slicing those up there, we're going to take some of our beautiful parsnips, which are roasted to perfection. Some of it crunchy, some of it beautiful and juicy. We are going to pop those on top here. Now it's all about assembling the plate. And like I said, isn't this a glorious use of leftover veggies? All right, how's our little, let's turn that off. Of course. Oh, beautiful. That is so juicy. Let me do the other side. I need a little bit more there. And what we're going to do now is dress this. So we've got our veggies. It's going to eat really well. Everything's roasted to perfection. We've got a lot of flavor, a lot of personality, and the smells are amazing. What I can do is a little bit more of that crumble on top, the feta crumble, and you do get the vegan alternatives to this as well. But we are just going to build up some lovely flavor. Now, what I have here is greens out of my garden. I got some parsley, I've got sorrel, and I've actually got mint. And if you wanted to, you could chop that chili up there as well. So I'm just going to chop that up into a nice little fine garnish. And I'm using herbs that are going to complement the lovely flavors that we already have. So that is smelling just beautiful. Now, a little bit of crunch. Now, you could use a store-bought dukkha. I also have pistachios, which I've used for another dish. Pistachios and some lovely chopped up dates, but you could, I'll use that one, but you could use a store-bought dukkha as well. Now, that is going to go on top of that. And then all I need to do is finish this off with one of those beautiful extra virgin olive oils. I would never use my crappy cooking spray now. This is where we bring out the good stuff. And always make sure when you're using your extra virgin olive oils that you have an olive oil that is in date. There is nothing more traumatic than when someone has drizzled a 7-year-old olive oil over your dish. It is going to ruin the lot. So I've got a truffle scented olive oil over here, which I'm going to put on this one over here. And of course, we could use a lemon oil or even just a plain extra virgin olive oil. And guys, this is going to be a very popular dish at your next meat-free dinner party. Last minute is, I almost forgot this lovely juicy lemon. Look at that extra juice we get just from doing that. And if you wanted to, you could also get these lovely dehydrated mushrooms that I found at my supermarket, and those could literally be crumbled over the top there for some extra bling. I might just eat one of those just like that. These are fabulous. Oh. Flavor, texture, and personality, all on a plate.